Welcome to Kahit Na, a space where we talk about the things that almost broke us but did not. I'm your host, Joshua, and once again, welcome. So, for today's episode 2, we're going to be talking about something that I committed. That's why ginawa ko tong podcast na to or binuhay ko tong podcast na to. So, recently I posted something on TikTok about me entering a place or going to a place after 6 years. And that 6 years was a very long journey. It took me a while for me to do it again. So this episode is going to be talking about a very traumatic experience of mine. So trigger warning, viewers' discretion is advised, or listeners' discretion is advised. So make sure that you are ready to hear some difficult or maybe traumatic experiences. If not, you may just skip this episode. But if not, feel free to stay and yeah, join me as I dig in deeper to this experience. So let me start by um, talking about what happened that night. So this was August 4, 2019. So my sister and I were thinking of going to a spa for to just end the week right. I believe this was a Saturday or Friday. Anyway, it's a weekend. So we are a member of this spa, and we decided to go to their Balibago branch, which is in Angeles City in Pampanga. Unfortunately, they were fully booked, and we had to go to another spa. We actually hopped from that spa to another, to another, and to another. This is like the fourth spa that we went to. And to be honest, I think that was a subtle foreshadowing. Kasi, would you imagine, nakalipat na kami ng ilang beses, but we still tried to do it. I think it was the universe telling us na wag na. But maybe because me and my sister, we really wanted to have our massage that night. So yun, pinilit namin. So we went here and then at that time, nung lumapit ako dun sa place, it was actually in a commercial building sa second floor. So we parked my car dun sa baba and then we went upstairs. Ngayon pag-akyat namin dun, we asked if they are still open because I think that was around 10 or 11 p.m. already. And they said na sakto daw kami sa cut-off. So we were the last clients na i-entertain nila. So ayun, pagkatapos nung mga clients na nakasalang that night, we were asked to prepare na. So pumunta na kami dun sa kanya-kanyang station namin ng sister ko. And then the massage, how can I say, the session went very smooth. And I think one of the things that I did not realize is walang security guard dun sa place. And second is, I don't think they are locking the door. Kasi wala kasing concierge or walang front desk. Yung nagfo-front desk lang din mismo is yung therapist. I'm not sure, maybe because it was late na or kami na yung last. But basically, wala kaming dinat nandun. So, ayun, nag-start na yung session. As usual, nagsa-start yung session ng nakadapa ka, right? And then, um, I think for about 15 minutes, ayun, normal lang. I was having a good time. I was just enjoying yung hagod ng massage. And then suddenly I heard na may parang kumatok. And then um narinig ko or yung therapist ko nagpaalam na pwede bang assist niya muna yung uh, dumating. And then yeah, he left for quite some time. Tapos bumalik siya and I heard na parang sabi niya cut off na, something like that. So I assumed na okay na. And then after a few minutes or after a few moments, narinig ko na lang. Because imagine nakadapa ka. sa bed, right? Sa massage bed. 'Di ba yung face mo nandun siya sa hole nung bed. And then I was like completely clueless kung ano man yung mangyayari dun sa like sa room because I was facing down. Ngayon, suddenly may strange noise na parang alam mo yung ano, parang may puwersang tunog gano'n, yung gano'n. Or I don't know, that sounded funny. But anyway, um, ngayon, ah, may nagsalita na and there were two suspects. One of the suspects, siya yung parang probably leader. Siya yung laging nagsasalita. And then the other one is like parang assistant or whatever kasi hindi ko masyadong narinig yung boses niya. But I have to be very specific that these people were not Kapampangans because I'm a Kapampangan myself and I am so sure if a Kapampangan is speaking in Tagalog. These people are speaking in Tagalog or in Filipino, not in Kapampangan or our dialect. Now, so he said na walang papalag, walang mangyayaring masama, walang masasaktan kung walang papalag. Now, at that time, I froze. To be completely honest, I froze kasi naramdaman ko na lang na yung guy, umupo siya sa likod ko. So, I'm not sure because maybe because medyo malaki yung build ko and they were afraid na magiging, ano ako, how can I say, magiging, parang maglalaban ako, something like that. So I completely froze, but at the same time I was trying to assess and think on what is the best thing to do. Kasi basically I have no idea kung may weapon ba sila, 'di ba? Wala akong idea kung yun meron ba silang gun, meron ba silang knife or whatever they have that can harm me and my sister. Siyempre hindi ko naman pwedeng na i-escalate or maglalaban ako agad to escalate instantly yung nangyayari. So I froze tapos nung umupo na sa likod ko yung one of the suspects, hindi ko alam kung yung nagsasalita yun or the other guy. Um, this suspect started to tie my hands. So etong dalawang kamay ko were tied like backwards. So nakatali sila. And naramdaman ko na sobrang higpit talaga nung pagkakatali to the point na I could not feel my hands anymore. And then akala ko tapos na. And then after that is tinali din yung paa ko. Yeah, you heard it right. Tinali din yung paa ko. So my hands and my feet were tied. And then, syempre, I was very worried about my sister. I was with her sa kabilang bed. And I could hear her parang speaking na parang kuya, wag po, like please stop. We're gonna give everything you want. We're gonna give everything. We're not gonna fight back. Tapos ito, I think sa sobrang bigla din ng mga therapist, yung female therapist ni ate, she somehow resisted and narinig ko yung sinuntok siya or tinadyakan siya. So ako nagsalita na ako na parang guys, let's just cooperate. Bigay natin lahat ng gusto nila para walang masasaktan at walang mangyayaring masama. And then I think the two therapists were still trying to do something and as in naririnig ko na lang na parang nabubugbog na sila or parang like mababalibag ganyan. So what happened next was pinagdugtong yung kamay ko and yung paa ko together backwards. So basically para akong ball kasi naka-bend na yung back ko just to make para lang mahila yung upper body and lower body ko para nga mag-connect yung arms and feet ko backwards. Um, and then after that, I heard my sister again. Um, this is probably one of the most disturbing thing that I could ever hear. Bigla ko siyang narinig na, Kuya, kuya, wag po, please, wag po. And at that time, I was about to lose it. Like, I don't know, parang ready na akong lumaban, but at the same time, wala naman akong magagawa because I was literally captive. Because my fear was my sister is gonna be, you know, gonna be molested, gonna be used. Her body's gonna be used. And then I heard the guy. I hate to. This is very ironic, but I was very relieved when he said, "Shut up! I'm not gonna do anything to you sexually." Sabi niya. Parang it was more of him trying to touch my sister, looking for jewelries that she might be wearing at that time. So imagine, because my sister was, di ba pag nagpapamassage ka, tinatanggal naman kasi talaga yung damit. So imagine, it was technically can be very tempting for them. Very vulnerable yung sister ko at that time. And then after that, uh, I couldn't really, how can I say? I couldn't really see everything that is happening kasi nga I was on the bed, 'di ba? Nakasubsub pa din ako. And then all I hear or all I can remember are audios. So kasi walang umaandar na ibang senses except for my ears. My ears is my biggest witness. I have no idea how they look like. I have no idea kung anong built nila or whatever. All I know is their voice. And I have to say, until now, their voice lives in my head rent free. Going back. So after that happened, nung tinali na ako, and kumalma na yung sister ko, and the other or the massage therapist stay calm na din. Bigla akong nakakaramdam ng tadyak. Parang hinulog ako sa bed. So, hinulog ako sa bed. And then, I was trying to talk to them. Like I said, all of our things are inside the basket. Yung wallet, yung cellphone, yung watch, everything is in there. And to be completely honest, yung car na gamit namin is a company car. And I shouldn't be using it for personal use, but at the time, I had to. Um, Going back, nung sinasabi kong nasan yung mga gamit, I think they were very rushed kasi 'di ba madilim sa spa and they couldn't find it. So they started kicking me sa iba't ibang parts ng katawan ko, even my face. Kasi daw hindi nila mahanap yung gamit ko, hindi daw nila mahanap yung basket. They even got mad kasi akala nila is we're trying to buy time na parang pinagloloko lang namin sila. But I said no. Everything is in there. Wala po kaming ibang hawak. Naka-underwear lang ako ngayon. There is no possible way na hindi ko na matatago ko yung mga gamit. And then eventually they found it. And then they started going through our stuff. And then of course nakita nila may mga ATM cards. And at that time they said, ano yung password ng ATM? And unfortunately, at that time, I was bringing two ATMs, and my sister also was bringing two ATMs. Um, so ganito, yung sabi nila kasi is, ano yung password? If mali yung password na bibigay namin, they're gonna end our lives. Yun ang threat nila. Since dalawa sila, yung isa pupunta sa bank, tapos yung isa daw may iwan. So the moment na malaman nila na hindi tama yung password, they're gonna leave us lifeless. So syempre, we couldn't risk it. So, I had to give my password. Tapos since I was aware, buti na lang alam ko yung password ng ATMs ng sister ko because I understand that she was so scared. She was very nervous. Like her voice was literally shaking that you could not understand her anymore. So I made sure na makuha nila yung password nung akin tsaka nung sa sister ko. I even made sure na pinaulit-ulit ko sa kanila just to make sure na hindi sila maiinis and end up doing the things that they said. Ngayon, um, after nila, they realized na may sasakyan sa baba, which, I was very, very worried about. Kasi nga, that car is not mine. That car belongs to the company where I worked for. Fortunately, I don't know if this is divine intervention, but they got so mad kasi hindi daw nila mahanap yung susi ng sasakyan. Like, tinadyakan talaga ako, pinagbubugbog ako because they literally could not find the key dun sa car. So, I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. But all I can say was, buti na lang hindi nahanap yung car because that's gonna be a bigger problem. Not just me dealing with my trauma, but me dealing with the company because basically, mawawala yung sasakyan. Now, habang hinahanap nila yung sasakyan, habang na binubugbog nila ako, sinasabi nila na isasama daw nila yung sister ko to drive kasi daw hindi sila marunong mag-drive. So, it's gonna be my sister who would drive. And at that time, syempre, ang iniisip ko is, um, if my sister is gonna go with them, I have no idea what's gonna happen to her. Diba? Hindi, I'm still mad at myself for not thinking na ako yung i-offer ko yung sarili ko na ako na lang. Diba? I'm having, I'm still thinking why I did not think of that. But nung time na yun, I was very scared kasi nga pag nahanap nila yung susi, they're gonna take my sister with them. And I'm not sure if makikita ko pa siya afterwards. Or worse, if buhay pa ba siya afterwards. But anyway, fortunately, hindi nahanap yung susi. And they just proceeded on leaving us. But before they left us, they did another thing that I did not expect. They lifted my head. They grabbed my hair, tapos nilift nila yung ulo ko. And then they started wrapping my head with duct tape. Yeah, like hindi lang yung one strip. It was like wrap, like mummified wrap. I'm not gonna lie. At that time, I thought, this is it. I am done. I even had flashbacks on the happiest moments of my life. I instantly thought that this is the end of everything. Because why would I be wrapped up? You know, ano ba? Ano bang main goal nila? Basically, all I could think of is they want to leave me lifeless. Siguro para hindi makahingi ng tulong or hindi sila mahuli. Now, at that time, kino-cover nila ako at sobrang higpit ng pagkaka-cover nila. I couldn't even breathe through my nose kasi talagang nag-flat siya because of the tape. And then I realized that merong space or gap in between nung tape sa mouth ko. So what I tried to do is I tried to water down yung adhesive nung duct tape. So I tried to mag-release ng laway as much as I can. Tapos pinupush ko yung dila ko doon sa gap ng dalawang tape just for me to get some air. And then, yeah, fortunately, I was doing this very quietly para hindi naman I was very worried na meron silang gawin pag nakita nilang ginagawa ko yun. Now, after that, I was able to breathe. Tapos narinig ko, ginawa din nila dun sa dalawang therapist. And then last, yung sister ko. Now, nung sa sister ko, ginawa siya, naririnig ko siya na hirap na siyang huminga. She was literally running out of breath. And I had to think fast. I had to make sure that I guide her. Wala na akong pake kung magagalit pa sila. Kinausap ko yung sister ko. I don't know where she's at sa room na yon. But what I did is I told her what I did. I told her na maglabas siya ng laway as much as she could. As in, like, labas talaga ng laway. Tapos itulak niya yung tape paalis sa labi niya so that she can get some air. I also tried to tell her not to breathe fast para hindi siya masyadong maubusan ng hangin. Gladly it worked. Um, Nakahinga siya. And then suddenly the room went silent. All I heard were footsteps na lang. Yung footstep na dahan-dahang nawawala. Footsteps na dahan-dahang palayo ng palayo. And then instantly the room was very quiet. It feels like wala na yung dalawang suspects. It feels like they finally let us live kahit na hindi nila nakuha yung sasakyan. So, yun ang nangyari. Now, I think that's it for the first part of the podcast. Um, there's gonna be, of course, like what happened afterwards. Paano ba kami nakawala? Paano dumating yung tulong? Ano yung nangyari? Sino yung nag-assist sa amin? And how was the situation handled by the management? So yun. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And yeah, please stay tuned for the next episode. And hopefully at that time, nandun na yung mic ko so that we can have a better audio quality.